Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Jashanna here with 25 bookish facts about me. I've seen quite a few people do this and it always looks like fun. No lie, it took me a little while to come up with 25 bookish facts because I'm like, what counts? And like, I don't know. You know when you're trying to think about something, your brain just blanks out? That happens to me all the time. So let's get right into it. Fact number one is I really wish that hardcovers did not have dust jackets. I love, and I don't own any like this, but, or do I? Oh, I mean, I do these ones. These Barnes & Noble special edition ones. I love it when a hardcover has the actual cover just like printed on the hardcover without a dust jacket. I hate dust jackets. Like, I get the general point of them, but at the same time, I'm just like, they get all ruined and then they look shitty anyway. Just no dust jacket, please. Fact number two is actually that I do prefer paperbacks as far as reading. I will get hardcovers. I mean, sometimes I get hardcovers if I pre-order a book and, you know, it's the first edition out. And I really want to only have hardcovers of books that are like my favorites. Otherwise, paperback's fine. Fact number three is I only recently just started getting into audiobooks. If you watch my channel, you know this. I've talked about it a few times, but I absolutely love using audiobooks for classics, for my Constant Classics series that I do, as well as contemporary. It's fine for those. Fantasy, sci-fi, not always so much my thing. Number four is that I have been an avid reader since I could read, which was like 4.5 years old. There's no particular book series that got me into reading, got me into reading or got me like back into reading. I've always read. On that note, number five is, again, something you know if you've been watching my channel, that I have yet to read Harry Potter except for the final book. Number six is, while I have always been an avid reader and there hasn't really been a time in my life where I didn't read at all, during college I didn't read for pleasure so much. I was a writing major and I had lots of English classes, so I still was reading fiction and nonfiction, like plenty of it. I just wasn't reading books outside of that as often. I consider, like I said, I've always been an avid reader, but there was a couple years after college where I was reading maybe 20 books a year. But in the last few years, I've gotten back to being like what I consider a truly avid reader, right? And I've been reading, like last year, I think I read 50. This year I discovered BookTube, and so it's going to be a lot more because that really pushes you, man. Number eight, bookish fact, is I am also a writer. And I have written a full novel, and I've also always been a writer, so I mean, I have tons of like little stories and chapter books and short stories from when I was a kid, poetry that's absolutely terrible. Number nine is I do not think I will be fully content in life until I have a legitimate library in my house, like a room that the walls are just covered in books. Number 10 is that ebooks are cool sometimes. I certainly can appreciate them. I can appreciate having a bunch of books in this one little spot that you can take with you. And a lot of times they're cheaper copies. All that's great. I do still prefer a physical copy of a book though. Number 11 is that I am the only reader in my family. I mean, everybody can read. And growing up, my brother didn't read like at all. He does read now, he reads nonfiction. And my mom would read here and there different books. And my dad reads hunting magazines. So, number 12 is that I am a book sniffer to the max. I remember when I first started dating LJ, I was reading one time and I just do it sometimes without thinking of it. He was like, Did you just sniff your book? What are you doing? I was like, yeah, it smells good. Some books smell good. Number 13, I kind of just mentioned this, but I used to get like in trouble for wanting to read books at restaurants. Number 14 is when I was younger, I was very much a traditional Christian child, Christian upbringing, whatever. And I read Jeannette Oak, like all of the Jeannette Oak books, I think. I loved it, and I wrote her a letter once telling her like, I want to be an author someday like you. I think when I was like 12 or something. And she wrote back, and it was like a handwritten letter. And I was like so overjoyed, and probably like a lot of people have never even heard of her. But for me, it was like this big author writing to me, and I was so jazzed. Number 15 is someone who's in my life that has always been a big supporter of my writing, is my best friend's mother, and she also always gets me books. Like, she always was getting me books when I was growing up for Christmas and my birthday and whatever, and she would always write little notes in there like, keep it up, blah blah. And I mean, my own family was very supportive as well, but I will always remember that about her, as one of like my childhood memories of her, right? Number 16 is that I get my nephew a book every Christmas and for his birthday as well, and I always write a little note in it. And so far, it has not made me the uncool aunt because he loves it. Number 17 is that I think Bookish subscription boxes are so cool. Like, that's amazing, and there's so many different ones out, and I love it. But they're not really my thing typically, because while I love the idea of getting like this new book, you know, I don't really want all of the Bookish merch. While it's adorable and like I do love it, I would like become a hoarder with it. Like, I would just have like crap everywhere. Number 18 is my home burning down and losing all of my books in the fire is like one of my greatest fears. Number 19, which is also something you might know if you've been watching my channel, is that I do not use standard bookmarks, which upsets me because there like are so many awesome bookmarks out there. But I much prefer using magnet bookmarks. Number 20 is that I buy mostly used books. Number 21 is that I am a backwards person with reading, apparently, because when I was younger, like in middle school and high school and a little bit into college, I read way more like just general fiction, adult fiction, and not like erotica adult, just like adult fiction, and like literary fiction. Read a lot of it when I was younger. Now, and I read almost like no YA when I was like in high school and stuff. Like, I rarely was picking up YA books. Now it's like all I read is YA and adult fantasy, I guess. 22 is that I used to dog ear my books pretty regularly. Number 23 is that like 2 years ago now, I got to go to New York for my work. And really, honestly, the only thing that I was like, I have to do this, I have to see this, was the New York Public Library. Number 24 is that I use a little notebook that's up there somewhere to keep track of the books I read. I do use Goodreads now. I started using it more regularly like a year and a half ago maybe. So I do use Goodreads now on top of that, but I don't know why, I just like having it written down with like kind of my brief thoughts. Number 25 is that when I was a kid, Book It was a thing where you'd read books and like, I don't remember how it worked, but it was like a point system, and like however many books you read, you'd get points. And once you got to a certain number, you'd get a little thing, a little coupon to go get a free personal pan pizza at Pizza Hut. And I racked up those free personal pan pizzas, man. This is like an elementary school. So yeah, I got a lot of free personal pan pizzas from Pizza Hut in the mid-90s. Okay, that is all. Those are my 25 bookish facts. I'll probably think of some later that are better or something, but whatever. I wanted to do it. It's fun. You should do it too. It's not a tag, I don't think, but it's just fun to do. Like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz. And thank you so much for watching, guys. As always, I appreciate your time, and I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.